Yo guys, it's Frost14 back again. Once again, your favourite analyst is here. CPC week 3. Things are getting real intense and we're going to dissect these games, man. It's going to be fun, and let's waste no time and get straight into it. So here is the first game, and I'm sorry my dudes, but you unfortunately had 2 forfeits this week, so you won't be able to hear my beautiful voice for the normal amount of time, but that's fine. So we'll get straight into it. So this was a match, we're week 3 now, Hiker versus Turkey. So they're both pretty evenly matched. Turkey's hit some real nice form in the last few weeks after a bit of a rocky start. So it was a 6-4 to Turkey in the pick'em, so pretty close, bit of a 50-50 game. I picked Hiker. I can't really remember why, but I thought he had quite a nice matchup. I thought Mega Aero with the right set put in a fair bit of work, but yeah, we'll see if I'm right. But yeah, I thought for Turkey though, Mammoth and Mega Diancie were going to be hard to stop as well, so yeah, I was expecting a close match, but yeah, anyway, we'll get into it. So he leads off with Infernape against Kingdra, so he U-turns out. Turkey showing another defensive Kingdra set, which has worked really nice for him during this season. Obviously, Hiker predicted the Toxic or something there maybe, sets up the light screen, gets a knockoff crit, which isn't ideal for Hiker, knocks off that nice black sludge. Mega Diancie is a pretty safe switch into Wheezing unless it gets poisoned. Going for the Psychic here, so obviously doesn't do much to Starmie. As you can see, Ferrothorn is a pretty handy switch into a Life Orb Starmie, except if he reveals Hidden Power Fire. So it takes Okabear very nicely there, but gets up his rocks, which is pretty handy. He gets to take out the Ferrothorn, so that was really good building there from Hiker, as he reveals Scarf Mamoswine there. So now he can safely bring in his Mega Aero because he knows he's not going to get hit by an ice move. Katana is the switch in, which probably isn't an ideal switch in, but he is Scarf Katana, or there was not enough speed investment for the Mega Aero to outspeed the Katana. But obviously, because he's probably scarfed, Infernape's a good switch. Kingdra takes that hit like an absolute boss. As I said, defensive leftovers Kingdra is pretty nice, to be honest. And because of the drops, it's going to take him out with a Scald. So, yeah, I don't know about that play. I probably would have kept Infernape around for a bit longer, but yeah. So now he reveals Rest. So here the game is still in the balance. Because of Rest, I thought it was over pretty much now, because he has absolutely nothing to take the Kingdra out. Like, he's only got 3 really defensive Mons, and he just has to whittle him down with a Scald, eventually get the burn, or yeah, just keep whittling him down. The light screen's obviously up, so it's not doing much. Foul play's doing nothing. So he can safely bring in his Mamo. It does a fair chunk, but I think he reveals Magnet Rise in the next play, which is pretty nice. He knocking off his leftovers, obviously predicting the Magnet Rise, so he can go back out into his Kingdra. Now it's a bit of a stall wall, but yeah, I don't think he has Rest on his Klefki, so it's just going to go down here eventually. He's just trying to get chip damage on Kingdra, but he can just rest up anyway. He's going to Toxic, and obviously Synchronize comes into play, but he has Rest, so it's not going to be a problem. Now he goes into his Mega Diancie for a late game sweep. So Mega Diancie's been really nice for Turkey this season, and he's just going to finish him off because it gets Psychic, as most of us know Mega Diancie. And that is a good game. So a 5-0 to Turkey. Very well played. He's hit some nice form in the last couple of weeks. Hiker probably wasn't his best game, I think he'll admit that, but yeah, just Turkey outplayed him very well then. And here is our summary brought to us by LotterDude13 with his nice graphics. Well, Hiker only got 1 kill, so it was Starmie with the nice HP fire on the Ferrothorn. Obviously the rest of his team didn't do anything. Katana got a nice kill, Scarfed. Mamo and Kingdra both definitely put in work, and Mega Diancie with the late game sweep. So that was pretty much the story of the game. Yeah, as I said, Turkey highly outplayed Hiker. And that'll give iPro a bit of a chance to catch up to Hiker in that. But yeah, Turkey's just playing really good Mons at the moment, so yeah, he deserved to win. So here we have iPro and Ashki. So it was 8-2 to iPro in the pick'ems. I picked iPro just because Ashki's had a bit of a rough start to the season, and iPro's playing solid, so I thought he was going to win. Yeah, so we'll get straight into it. Leads off with Serena against the Crook, which is a pretty nice matchup for Ashki. Goes into a Roserade, nice U-turn. Goes into Magierna. So here he reveals HP Fire most likely, and he can take it out with an Ice Beam. So the next play, it's a bit like he does Toxic. I can see what he was doing, obviously predicting something else to come in, because Magierna doesn't want to take an Earthquake. He probably didn't think Ashki was going to risk the Magierna, but with the Beast Boost, like he could have stayed in, which he did, and he kills with an Ice Beam. So here, obviously he's 2 times special attack plus iPro's 2 mons down, so it's not looking that great for him, but luckily he can outspeed with Dragonite and kill that. Here, I don't understand why he went to Zygarde, because Zygarde can't KO the Dragonite, obviously with multi-scale. I know he wanted to ground it and that, but yeah, I don't know about that. But now Zard comes in, and Zard outspeeds and kills the Dragonite. So we go in. That was a nice double by iPro. And here he hyper voices, does a good 60, about 60%. Skuntank isn't a Mega Gardevoir counter, never will be, but obviously at this stage he has nothing to switch in, so he's sacking off his Skuntank, which is fair enough. So goes into Serena, Trop Kick doesn't quite take it out. Hyper Voice does a fair chunk, but he does live, pretty bulky new Mon. So here is Donphan, so obviously Donphan can take a hit, so Hippo is the switch in, which is nice. Obviously Donphan can't really touch the Hippo, so the Earthquake's there. Hydro Pump, he does Superpower, does nothing, so now the Hippo is going to go down. Lucky he didn't miss any Hydros. Here he does reveal, he has leftovers. This is the play I've been really debating in my head, like whether, obviously he must have calced with Tesserina and Trop Kick. He must have thought that it took it out. I don't know, to be honest. I don't know, so I can't really criticize him too much, but I would have went into Tesserina and Trop Kicked, and even if it didn't kill, it would have made it real low. Zard could have come in and killed, and obviously then Donphan probably wins anyway, but yeah, it's kind of a 50-50 there. I can't be too critical because he does DD up with the Zard. Hydro Pump does a massive amount. It's a clean 2-hit KO. Dragon Claw, unfortunately he survives for Ashki's sake. Now the Trop Kick obviously will kill, but Donphan can definitely take it out. Can take a hit, and geez, he takes it out with a Stone Edge, which was real risky, but probably wasn't the best game on the eye or quality, but it was close and entertaining, so yeah. And here's the summary. Obviously, Tesserina and Magierna are doing a lot of work for Ashki, keeping him in the game with 2 kills each, and Zard was pretty handy too, the one. For iPro, Rotom Wash and Dragonite put in a lot of work. Mega Gardevoir on the double was really nice. And Donphan and Rotom Wash were pretty much his bulky ones that got him over the line in the end, so yeah, good game.
And yeah, just with that game 4, I'm actually debating with myself now whether that is the right play with the Tesserina and what to sack and that, so you guys can make that decision for yourself. It was pretty kind of 50-50. It wasn't a misplay on anyone's behalf or anything like that. But the next game is the most hyped game of the round and the season. Both undefeated players, A12 and Techno, pretty good friends coming up against each other. It was a 5-all in the pick'em, so really even. Everyone thought it was going to be a really good game, which it did turn out to be. I picked A12. I don't know, honestly, it was just 50-50. No real reasons. I thought he could trap a few of Techno's mons, but Mega Beedrill was definitely a threat for A12, and I expected the coughing to come for that. But I don't know about A12 set for that. But we'll get into it. It's a very good game, actually. If it works. Yeah, there we go. He starts off with Doug, obviously, to try and trap something straight away. So Techno reveals Como special set, or it could be mixed, and he switches out there. So Drap gets a sword stance up and hits it with a crunch pretty well. Obviously with the coal bar, A12 he probably did expect that, but that was just a bit unlucky. It would have been a clear KO without it. And Techno gets real nice damage off on the Drapion, which the Drapion's a pretty big threat to his team. He subs up just in case he wants to switch out or something like that, Techno won't do that. He poison jabs, which will kill from that range, and Claydol is down very early. Obviously here, Techno gets a free U-turn. There's no real reason to go for any other play. Gets the momentum up on his side so he can go back into Como which Slowbro is a pretty nice switch in, but he does miss the Toxic, which is really unfortunate, as that would have been really nice for him early game. Does the Psychic, doesn't do much. He tries to trap it with with Magnezone. Obviously, this is really nice building by A12, but even better building by Techno. As you can see, the next play, he Earthquakes him, which is a clean KO from that point. And he gets the Beast Boost as well. He reveals Grass Knight, which is again really good building. Unfortunately misses the Thunder Wave, but not sure Slowbro can do much to the Celesteela. He does slack off, Air Slash trying to get the flinch, but unfortunately he doesn't for his sake. Now he can go into the Togekiss, so he nasty pots up, which against A12, his team is really nice setup to kind of beat his bulky mons. He heal bells here. He switches out. Celesteela can take a return. Does get 2-hit KO. Diggersby, he stayed in. Bit of a risky play, but it paid off. Now he can go into his Como which is faster and less scarfed. Diggers. And his Sky uppercuts, but we knew the Slowbro was coming. And now he finally gets the Toxic off. Does risk a Psychic though, but I think that was worth it to get the Toxic on the Slowbro. Goes into his Togekiss now. He sets up a nasty plot. He knows he's going to get Thunder Wave, but he doesn't really mind. So now he's just sacking off his Slowbro, just Thunder Waving just in case Techno wants to bring something else in. Diggers here. Golem takes that return pretty nicely and can kill with an Earthquake. Now Dugtrio traps Golem. And here, I know Drapion was going to die to rocks, but I probably would have Rock Slide there straight off the bat. Obviously a chance to flinch and para. So I don't know. He does it. He brings it in now, but Drapion could have been nice to sack off later. Rock Slide, and he does get the flinch. And I don't really know what Techno's doing there, but Rock Slide, he needs a flinch, and he doesn't get it. So that's a Draco, dropping Draco's Techno. So now, if Coughing had HP flying or something, it probably could take it out from here, but it's not going to take it out. He does the taunt, which was really nice. Draco. He does have the hidden. Yeah, sorry, he does. But it does nothing. He probably should have went for that straight away, but anyway, kills it off now. And even though Toga's parried, it is faster, and that is a good game.
So here's the summary. Obviously, Doug Trio was pretty handy with the 2 kills. Digger's Drap put in a little bit of work at times. For Techno, Combo O was really nice in the matchup. Mega Beedrill, even though it didn't get kills, put on a bit of pressure. Celestial with that clutch Earthquake was real nice. And Toe Kick set up and Golem taking out the Digger's Beer did really well. Yeah, it was a good game. Obviously, I expect both of these guys to move on to the next phase, no matter what the kind of results. So, yeah. So here we have James versus Burb. So it was 9-1 to James in the pick'ems, which was a bit of a surprise. Thought it was going to be a lot closer game than that. I went James. Just thought he had was going to win. And we'll get straight into it. If it works. Here we go. Leads off with Swampert, Mienshao. He's probably just going to U-turn out here as he does. Doesn't want to risk the Mienshao taking much damage. Goes in the Desert UI, which is a pretty safe switch into Swampert. And he's not going to stay in with a chance of a grass move. Spirit Shackled, obviously, probably maybe inspecting something to come in that he could trap. U-turns out here. Lando's obviously the check to Incineroar, but it's getting worked down. Oh, it has leftovers though, which is nice. Goes into his Jirachi, so he can obviously take the Ice Beam pretty well, but he subs on the Protect, which it was a misplay by Burb, obviously. And he reveals the Earth Power, which was really nice. It does a clean 50%, but he does have leftovers and Wish, so he can stall him out for a bit. He Earth Powers once again. And he has Flash Cannon, so that's pretty nice, special with Jirachi. Pretty cool. He Earth Powers there, he just lives, he wishes there. Debatable whether he should have just taken it out, but it's not a misplay or anything, I don't think. So here he protects to see what Incineroar is going to use, because he's probably locked into something. So now he goes into his Lando T to take the Flare Blitz. Even with the Intimidate, this does a heck of a lot, 41%. And the Lando is getting whittled down, which is really bad for Burb. Obviously, Swampert's a pretty nice switch into Lando. Mega Blastoise can scald the Swampert and do a fair chunk, not too much, but he can Toxic the Mega Blastoise, which was really nice for Greg. Both these players haven't won a game yet, so this is really crunch time here. Tries a double, but doesn't work out for him. He goes into his Swampert, gets another layer of Spikes up, which is nice. Earth Power's there. Goes into his Desert UI, which can obviously take the Earth Power, really nice. So here he's not going to stay in again. Incineroar can take another Spirit Shackle, which has done nothing. This is a really nice play. He predicts either the Lando or the Blastoise to come in, so he picks Darkest Lariat. Aquajet, I'm surprised that didn't take it out, but anyway. Obviously, I think he protects here, does he? Or no, he gets another layer of Spikes up. Bit of a risky play there, but Mega Horns and the Swampert can take it out with the Scald. So there's Scolipede done. Burb's in a lot of trouble here. Goes to his Mienshao, but he does knock out the Swampert. Here he brings in his Mega Sizzle, which can take a high jump kick pretty nicely, and he sets up a Swords Dance, which is really, really, really bad. But now obviously Jirachi can take a Bullet Punch, does 24%, so he doesn't have anything to hit this with though, obviously, or he wouldn't use Psychic. And he reveals Brutal Swing, which is again real nice building. So he drops his attack, but he can still take it out with Bullet Punch, and this is pretty much game over here. I think, he Bullet Punches, he doesn't quite, unfortunately for Burb, he misses the high jump kick. Just kind of the story of his season so far. And the Spirit Shackle leaving it on 1%. I probably shouldn't be laughing because I feel for my good mate, but he probably should be 2-0. He shouldn't have won that one. He probably should be 2-1, still looking good, but he's 0-3. It's not looking good for him, to be honest. yeah, I don't think he can pull it back from here, but he does have a marquee matchup against Lejon next week, so we're looking forward to that one. Yeah, buddy. And here are the kills. Obviously, Mega Scissor late game was unreal with the 3 kills, which put in a heck of a lot of work. Incineroar was pretty handy, which I didn't expect. It got 1 kill, but it did it did really well. Swampert was a pretty nice wall. Mew and Tapu Fini did nothing, but they weren't really needed. Kyurem was good to for the Jirachi, and it looks pretty dour on James' side. Mienxia's done very well for him this season, but poor Burb. Poor Burb. And the next game we have the Battle of the Johns, Lejon versus Johnny. This one was actually a really good game. The A12 Techno and this game was obviously by far the 2 best games. The other games were pretty bad, to be honest. So it was good to see another good game. It was 8-2 to Johnny in the pick'ems. I picked Johnny as well. Thought he had the matchup, but I thought it was going to be a good game. So we'll get straight into it. So this one's a pretty long battle. So we'll flick through. Well, it's 57 turns, but starts off with a Dark Pulse, and he gets a flinch, which isn't great, but he has Porygon to switch into, which is a pretty nice switch in. He try attacks, which does a fair chunk to the Heracross, but obviously here he's not going to stay in. Goes into the Zard. He does sub up. His Stone Edge is here, so obviously Lejon didn't want to risk Zard taken out by a Stone Edge. His Sword Stance here, which is really nice, because Golbat's been putting in a lot of work for Lejon lately, and now he's got to sack the Golbat off, which is really unfortunate. And now it leaves, he subs up again, but Brave Bird's going to self-KO itself. Now this Heracross is looking real dangerous, but the Charizard can outspeed. It reveals Ranunculus as the wall for Zard, which has only taken about 35 plus. It has recovery, and it reveals Thunder, which can obviously do a lot to the Zard. Tri-Attack's doing nothing. It reveals Knockoff too, which I thought was really, really nice building. So, like, Ranunculus can take it on pretty well, but so can the Porygon. So there's a bit of a stall wall for now. So he does switch out. He does Toxic, which is obviously predicting something else to come in. Tri-attacks. It's going to die to Poison, so he's got to predict what he's going to use here. He predicts him to use a Close Combat and brings in Delmez. Heracross goes down to the Toxic. Brings in the Greninja. Dark Pulse, obviously with the Eviolite knocked off, can take out the Porygon, so that was really nice from Johnny. Obviously he doesn't want to keep Greninja on. He predicts the past one coming in with the Focus Blast, which was a good play, but unfortunately didn't work out for him. Shadow Ball there. Going to Suicune, which is interesting, but does obviously take the Shadow Claw very well. Here the Gothitelle is obviously going to try and trap the Suicune. So here's a bit of a stall war, they just go at it. Lejon, I think finally, I think he takes out the Suicune. Does he? Yeah, he does. Eventually. Oh no, yeah. Sorry, I'll go back. Here he Psych Shocks and it dies. And the past one is real bulky. It can take a hit. And it's going to roar, which is again nice building from Johnny, playing really well. Ushard, the Focus Blast does come off, which was good. Here the Battle of the Thunderouses, which are both very good mons. So he's obviously going to sack the Delmice, but he does get a nasty plot up on the switch, which is good. Obviously the Thundy, because Thunderous doesn't have Volt Absorb, can Volt Switch on it, and he's pretty much going to sack off the Gothitelle here. Thunderous takes those hit really well, and Thundy can just revenge kill, but he does keep the Thunderous around, which is nice. So here, goes into the Zard, Psyshock, Roost, reveals Roost. He goes into the Thunderous, unfortunately doesn't click Flamethrower, but he does have nice prediction with the HP Ice, or HP Rock, whatever it was. But Thunderous dies now to Thunderous T, its brother. And Ridiculous is a pretty nice switch into Thundy, even if it does have Dark Pulse. Psyshock's there. He could have probably roosted. Pardon me, he did roost. Nearly choked there. Misses a rock slide, which was real bad. Pardon me. Sorry guys, I had a bit of a choking fit there. We'll resume. So misses the rock slide, which is real unfortunate. Can kill with the solar beam. Now he pretty much loses the game. Dark Pulse can't quite kill, and he kills it off with a sight shot. And here is the summary. Obviously, both Thunderouses did well with 2 kills each. Gothitail was pretty nice. Worked for Lejon, and Zard was handy as well. Reuclus, I can't say it. I reckon it's one of the most underrated mons. Like, no one thinks it's bad or anything, but like it's really, really good. And Greninja put in a bit of work as well. So that was one of the best games of the week. So Johnny's doing really well in his division, and Lejon's doing pretty well himself. So here is the last game of the week, which is Jake versus Tone. It was 5-all in the pick'ems. I went for Tone. I don't know. I just thought he was going to win. It wasn't any real matchup advantage because they both had pretty solid teams. I thought this was going to be a real good game, but it didn't really turn out to be. But so here, he goes to the Ice Beam. Altaria takes that really, really nicely, and can hit it hard with a return. He does reveal the Roost Altaria here. I'm wondering if he was Dragon Dance. If he was, he could have done some real damage, but that was fine because he took out the Latios real early, which is a bit of a pain of how bulky it is. Now he misses a play rough here, which doesn't really matter, but still not ideal. Has a Zapdos, so he gets his rocks up, Jake, which is really nice. Gliscor, he reveals Agility Zapdos, which was really interesting. I was 99% sure he was going to be carrying Hidden Power Ice in this game. But Jake does have the Yachi Berry to take the hit and to get a Toxic off on the Zapdos. So really nice building there from Jake. But Gliscor is going to go down now, which isn't a big loss because it doesn't really do that much anymore. Did its job. Hitmonlee can take a hit because it has not the worst Spadef, and can take it out with a Stone Edge. Here, he pretty much sacks off the Hitmonlee, which is fair enough. Here the Metagross comes in. Hitmontop, he does have Intimidate, but obviously the clear body. So that was real nice. Obviously, you can't really do much back to him. If he did have the Intimidate, he probably could have stalled it out a little bit. But now the Hitmontop does go down. Brings in the Heatran. Obviously, you don't want to keep your Metagross on a Heatran. See here, he's pretty much sacking off the Heatran because you think it's going to be carrying a fighting move, which it does with the Hammer Arm. And now Azumarill. That's so good. Like that is. It did 9.8%. Like, obviously he must have been Sap Sipper for the Superior because it would have taken it out. But like, that's just really good building from Jake. That's the game right there. Any little hope that Tone have was gone, taken out with the Wild Charge. I'm really impressed with that. Anyway, here he goes for an Extreme Speed, which obviously can take the N-Ball out. But he pretty much lost it here, so he just goes for a Swords Dance. He does reveal Shucker Berry here, which can take the Earthquake. But he can't take out the Metagross if it is a bulky set with anything. So he goes for the Crunch, does a fair chunk, but it wasn't quite enough, and that is good game. So the game didn't really live up to its hype, but Jake just played really well that game. And that is a bit of a summary there for you. Obviously, Tone didn't have his best game. His mons weren't great. For Jake, Metagross put in a lot of work. Metagross is Bay, so did really well. Emboar put in surprisingly a lot of work. That really worked out for him. And Hitmonlee took out the Zapdos, which was really nice. So, yeah, really nice building from Jake, and he's looking in the right direction now to advance to the next stage. So here's the ladder, my dudes. Obviously, we're halfway through phase 1 now, so the ladders are taking shape. In the Slovakia division, it's really, really tight between the three teams. Turkey's probably the most informed, and I'd say he'd go through to the next one, but Hiker and iPro is a bit of a toss of the coin. I'm really not sure which one's going to go through, so the next few games for them are really important. If Turkey happened to drop a game, he'd start to be threatened by the other two. In the Congo Republic, obviously Techno and A12 are massive, massive favourites to get through. Turbo's only wins a forfeit from Ulmar, so he hasn't won a game legit yet. So yeah, I'd be very, very surprised if one of them two didn't make it. In the China division, we have Johnny and Lejon in first and second. Greg's thereabouts. If he wins next week, he'll be definitely in the running. But those two, I think, are pretty much going to get through. But yeah, hopefully Greg gets through. And poor Burb, he's sitting down there in the cellar. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, he probably won't make it, to be honest. No beating around the bush there. And next, in the Cuba division, we have Rob, our pokey TCG gamer, sitting nicely on top there with 3-0. He's got the best record and the best diff, so we'll equal with Turkey, so he's probably the best battler at the moment. But Techno probably would have something to say against that. Also, Johnny, they're all doing very well. Jake, after a tough start to Rob, is playing really well. He's looking like he's going to advance. Tone, if he plays his best, he's definitely a chance to get through as well, though. Yeah, and GOKU broke his leg or something, so yeah, he's in a world of strife physically and in this league as well. I don't think he has any chance at all to get through, but yeah. Yeah, it's pretty close still between some divisions, but yeah, we're starting to see who the front runners are now, and phase 2 will be really nice. And that is the weekly recap for week 3. Sorry there was only 6 games, 2 forfeits, but yeah, it's not my fault. So there was only 2 really good games. The rest of the others were pretty bad, but yeah, I don't know. Like it's been a pretty good competition so far, so I'm sure it'll get better in week 4 and beyond. Not much else to say. Yeah, thanks everyone for listening, and I'll see you next week as per usual. Yeah, have a good one.